Good afternoon, everyone. Today we are going to talk about 5 powerful AI tools to help you land that career that you're really looking to get to. In the next 20 to 25 minutes, we're going to talk through, you know, some of the top AI tools that are out there to, help you be successful in your career search. So grab a notebook and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you never miss a career tip. And we're always doing some great videos, and so those are always available to you in our YouTube page, and you'll be able to use that in the future. Even when you can't get a hold of us and you have a quick question, you can go look it up on our YouTube page and go, hey, here's about my resume. Here's about networking. Some great tools out there. So don't forget to subscribe and then move to that. Awesome. So I do want to introduce our team before we get started. So, as a nonprofit, we all work really hard to support you in your career search. We have a couple different teams that the talent acquisition team, which is really focused on helping you. And then we have an employer engagement team that's really focused on helping bring companies to the table that may have an opportunity for you. But your movers and shakers are here today. So you have myself, Jenny Sales, as one of the senior recruiters, and you have our very talented Ashley French, who is our director. You have Nicole Parsons, who's over our work-based learning internships, which is a fantastic way to, get real life work experience when you're changing careers or just breaking into a career. So think of her. And if you are looking for a fantastic career coach, Katie Rains leads our reskill program. And she is somebody that, like, when I think of how Katie helps people be successful, it gives me chills because she really gives you honest feedback in that reskill program that can help you understand what your strengths are, your weaknesses are, and how to bypass that to really moving towards that career goal that you're looking for. So feel free to reach out to anyone on our team. We are here to support you in your career. All right. So, what is AI? This is what we're going to talk about today. What is AI? How can AI help you with your career research? Because that's really important. We kind of always just jump to the resume, but when you're thinking about your career, you should probably do some research. What are you good at? Not only internally at what you are good at, but also look in your environment. Is this position that you're interested in local for you? If it's not, are you open to relocation? If not, what other careers would align with those skills and abilities that you have that you would be interested in? So, like, doing research on that career is really important. So, we're going to talk about that today. Customizing that resume. I know I can't tell you how many times I've had a candidate say, how many resumes do I need to create? We're going to talk about that today. I'm going to give you some tips on how to do that where, it really can benefit you to customizing your resume for that specific job that you're looking for. The next thing we're going to talk about is automating those job searches. How can you make it simpler for you to be notified about a position that's available and being able to apply to it in the first couple of days? Because by the time it's been posted 3, 4, 5, 6 days, you're probably in the 300 mark of applicants that have applied. You really want to be in that first batch. Let them see your resume immediately. Get in that first batch. So those alerts will help you understand when those jobs are coming and how to apply to them quickly. And then, of course, AI as a personal assistant. I can always use somebody to remind me about my commitments, and those tools and task reminders are really important. So each one of our slides will have a little bit of a snippet at the very bottom that you'll be able to see where some of those tools are available to you that are specific to AI and how you can use those. Let's talk about AI. What is it? When we think about AI, we forget. We're like, oh, it's this all-knowing computer. It's not. It's all-knowing many humans that have put mathematical equations together that can, kind of answer that if, in, and, or question to determine the next step in a factors. So that means that just like humans, it can make mistakes. So it's really important that, you use AI to be smarter, to work smarter, to overcome those things. But don't forget, AI is a tool. Remember, it's a tool. It's not you in your job search. It's always important to do that double check. I hate sounding like a mom, but really and truly, It's important. This is your first representation of who you are. So make sure that when you use AI, use that second step. Some key ways that are really we're familiar with, using grammar, the spell check, even like Grammarly. There's great ways to like use AI to do some automations. But let's talk about it in a different opportunity, in a different way. Thinking about that career. How many opportunities are in the area that you're looking? Do they match your potential careers and your transferable skills? That's important to do your research. And I always think it's important to take some time in the beginning to really evaluate what that is. I also think it's really important to work with a career coach. At this stage, Katie is really well about helping people understand, like, what other skills apply to this? And how are those transferred into this new role that you're looking at? Having that unbiased, someone that can look at it and just go, oh, what about this? And what about that? Things that we don't think for, we just assume that everybody just knows. I'm Jenny and this is all that I bring to the table. Well, no, not everybody knows those things. So keep in mind getting that second opinion. And one of the best ways to use the AI in researching is pulling together insights from thousands of data resources, including job descriptions, salary data, industry trends, skill requirements, and much, much more. And those things are important for you to make that educated decision on whether this is the best fit for you. There's some great platforms out there like Future Fit, AI, Eightfold, ChatGPT can even help you. Um, really identifying those skills, experiences that can help you suggest your career path, finding gaps in your current roles and how you can blend that into the new role, identifying characteristics of learning paths align to your target goal. So there's a lot of ways that you can do your research. Is it the right fit for me? Is it in my location? If it is in my location, does it pay what I need it to make? Like all of those things that are really important for you to make those data-driven decisions. Got to think of it like your own business. And this is who you are, and how do you do the best for you? And what is the best resources for you? And that data can really help you understand what that looks like and how to make those best decisions that meet your needs, because your needs are different from the next person. Customizing resumes. So I think a lot of people have different opinions about a resume. I'm in the workforce for over 35 years. My resume is my master resume. It's probably 12, 14 pages long. I would never send that to somebody. No one will read it. It will go to the bottom of the barrel. No one has time for that. As recruiters are working on a deadline and it moves pretty fast. So we use our AI tools to really understand who's the best fit by who has the best skill set, who has matching skills, who has matching work history and other abilities and skills that match this job description. So when I say start with that master, pull the data that you need and put it into a 1 to 2 pages, maybe format for a resume, making sure that your skills are aligned to the position that you're applying for. And unfortunately, yes, that means a different resume for different positions. Because you may be in a position, for instance, think about HR. HR handles um, a lot of different roles from payroll to recruiting to training to like benefits. They may have different areas that their strengths are in. So you want to align those in your resume. Same thing in the IT world. Maybe you've been a developer, but that's, not necessarily your strongest suit, and you want to really move into like an analyst role, and you've done some analyst work. So pick and choose from that master resume based on the skills and abilities that are needed for that specific role that you're looking at. Um, Many of us have had different types of career roles. Keeping that master resume with those details for customizing your resume is really kind of key to being able to do it quickly. Have sections built on developer skills. What are your languages? What have you done in the past? Analyst tools. Have you done some automation with RPA? What are those skills? IT journalist, what have you done in that area? And then you can choose to pick based on that job description. AI can also analyze your job description and suggest targeted changes to your resume. This is where it's really important to make sure that you are really consciously understanding what those are. Because if you're a novice, it's something you want to put that. But if you don't have the skill set, you don't want to just put it on that resume. Your recruiter will figure it out. It's important to make sure that it's customized, but customized true to you. It's also important because you don't want to get in a job where you said you had some skills and you really didn't. But if you're a novice and you're learning, it's okay to put that on there. I've just recently graduated from a boot camp, a 12-week boot camp, and I've also been working with, you know, of course, my mind goes blank today, but whatever that skill set is, and even talk about the projects that are related. JobScan is one of those that's really great. You can add your job in there and your resume, and then you can look at it and go, well, I don't have that skill, but this is this experience I do have. And then kind of figure out how to creatively put it in there, but making sure that you're honest and truthful. Super important. Avoid embellishments. Remember that AI is a helper, not a fabricator. Don't list skills you can't speak to in an interview. Um, Bonus tip, use AI to compare your resume with other top performers in the industry. Mini takeaway from this section, customize your resume equals more callbacks. Keep it honest and keep it relevant. All right, this is probably my favorite. I have been using Google Alerts for since Google came out. I've used it to be alerted on bad weather. I've used it to be alerted on job searches. I've used it to be alerted on when a deal goes on at Walmart on a specific thing I'm trying to buy. I use it for everything. And it's great to use in this specific way. So I often, advise all of my candidates to use a step-by-step process using Google Alerts, customizing it to your needs. And here, let me share. I think I have a little link. See if I can put it in the chat really quick. Type in google.com alerts and it will bring up the page for you. And I'll try to email this out and it'll have the template. It'll have the template attached and the link attached. But basically, you open up your browser, you search Google Jobs, and then you refine your search. What job are you looking for? What is that career? Is it a developer? What type of developer? And, refine those, create your alert that's going to have them email you about the jobs that hit the World Wide Web immediately, weekly, monthly, however you want to do it. But keep in mind, you really want to be in that first batch. So I want to know about it immediately and I want to notify me immediately so I can apply for it. Be proactive. You've now seen the job description or you've seen that, then go ahead and start working on that resume while you're, customizing that resume now that you've seen the alert for it. Your alerts will not show you detail from the week before. It's only going to show you the new things that pop up this week. So customizing that setting to really meet your needs. I'm always going to spend Thursdays looking for a position, or I'm doing it every single day from 8 to 9. Set your alerts to send you those open positions that are on the World Wide Web. When you apply to those jobs, make sure you go to the job site to apply to those jobs. Make sure your resume and your application's in their ATS. Um, when you save and create that alert, it will email you based on your needs. So super cool way to use Google to set up alerts for your career. It's going to search LinkedIn. It's going to search Monster, Career Builder, my website, every customer's website it's going to search those things based on your needs. And so you're getting a customized job search for you. It's pretty cool if you ask me. Right, AI. Streamlining job searches. There's a couple out there, JobScan, Teal, Loop CV, or Simplified Jobs. They can really help simplify that. Happen to like the Google Jobs, but any way you look at it, setting up those alerts to help let AI help you, do that job so that you can spend your time wisely customizing that resume and building an application that's going to be seen in that first few days. Um, Super powerful. Personal assistance. I don't know about you, but I could not live without a reminder. Sometimes it's a reminder to, stop working at the end of the day. It's important to set up and reduce overwhelming tasks during your job hunt. So, set up interview prep reminders and job alerts, and you're using these things to help you um, minimize how overwhelming it can be to do your job search is really key and being organized. There's a lot of great personal assistants that are out there that are free. Your Google Assistant, I always kind of go to Google because it is free, but there are a lot of other ones as well. But use those to help keep on task. If you're customizing your resume, sometimes we can get overwhelmed. So use that personal assistant to kind of remind you that you have an hour to do this, set those task reminders, help you keep that chaos in, in check because it can happen. Also, it can help set reminders. I've sent this position out. Has it been filled? Check the web, see if it's been filled. You can send an email. Hey, has this position been filled? That will help you keep up. Communication is super important, and so having those reminders and that personal assistant kind of help remind you that you do that follow up is important. Now, keep in mind, don't be overwhelming to your recruiter that's helping you. Make sure that you set up those timelines to, follow up in a timely manner, but not every single day. Remember, while AI really can simplify all these processes, it's important and a good idea to review your results. It needs to be unique to you. If your resume looks just like everybody else's, you're not going to stand out in the crowd. Now, don't fabricate those skills. Make sure that your experiences are real. Make sure that, you know, your AI enhanced resume is still who you are at the core. Because that's really why people hire people. And that's really one of the key things that they're looking for. There's a study out there right now that says an average recruiter will get, you know, in the first day, could get hundreds of resumes. Now, how are you going to stand out and be unique? There's a lot of ways to do that, and using AI to help you do that, but also having that personalization of who you are is super important. So when you get done with that customized resume, go back and look at it through the eyes of if you were own your own business. Is that something you would want to see? Make sure that you are, hitting all the key factors that are important to the business and what you bring to the table in regards to AI. I mean, in regards to your skills. Goodness gracious. Top mistakes to avoid. I've kind of said it all the way through this presentation, but really avoid embellishments. AI is, if I can't say it once, I've said it many times, it's AI is a helper, not a fabricator. Make sure that it's really important that, you that you can speak to the skills that are on your resume. Make sure that there's a project attached to it in your mind. Because if you're building a resume and you speak to, let's say you speak to having really strong developer skills. Well, what does that mean? And show me the application of how you've used that. You want to have that on your resume, but you also want to be able to speak to that in person. Recruiters will understand and ask those underlying questions that really will uncover whether you've had experience doing that or not. And you don't want to blow your chance with that recruiter, right? This is your first impression. It's super important that you're able to speak to it. And if you're a novice, that's a-okay. Because the person that really is a novice is sometimes the person they're looking for because they're energetic and they're energized and they want to get in there and learn this job and be successful. And recruiters do look for that. They look for that ability to be eager to grow their career. AI really can support your strengths, but it doesn't replace them. So make sure that you review, review, review. Bonus tip. Earlier, I kind of and alluded to this, combining AI with human coaching is so important. Here, you always have to have that human factor. Back to what I was saying earlier about people hiring people. When I'm recruiting for a position, one of the couple of things that I like to know is, who's going to fit best in this environment, um, I personally, when I think about the jobs that I want to do, there's certain environments that I'm not comfortable with. So, having that human coaching is always that key piece that can give you real feedback and honesty that sometimes is hard to take, but also very valuable to take because people we work with and people we're around, they know who we are. So make sure that your resume also reflects that while also being the best of who you can be. Mentorship, super important. Keep that in mind when you're thinking about that career coaching. And don't forget about our Reskill. That Reskill program has a fantastic mentorship program or career coaching. All right, so quick summary of the five AI tools that we kind of talked about today. The job search automation, resume customization, your personal assistants, your marketing research and analytics, career guidance. Use that AI, those AI tools to help you be the best that you can be. It's a great resource. It's a tool, and it's a tool that's going to help us to the next level. We can work faster and smarter by using AI. All right, this is the time where I really wanted to kind of connect and see if anybody has any questions about what we discussed today, or if there are any other tools in AI that I didn't mention here that somebody's using that maybe we can chat about. Is there anyone out there that has any best practices or best tools that are available that they're using in AI right now?
Jenny, I saw somebody on here mention something really interesting. Eric said that he keeps an AI safe resume, so he doesn't include his information in his resume. And I just thought that was a really great idea. If you're concerned about security, just having, something where you can, throw your resume in, throw a job description in, and, look for those keywords without, compromising your information if you're concerned about that. So I'm gonna definitely take that tip with me, Eric. Thank you very much for sharing that.
Absolutely. That is awesome. Yes, thank you for sharing that. That is great. Awesome. Well, if you found this helpful, please subscribe to our channel for more career content. Leave a comment if you have a question. We have a client, a marketing team that will link you up with us. Mention if you will, mention any upcoming webinar topics that you're interested in hearing about so that we can, definitely build those up to help you be the best that you can be. A couple of them that I know that we've done in the past is like that LinkedIn optimization. Well, that was done about a year ago, and of course, AI has included some new great skill sets. So we may want to relook at that. But our goal is to help you be successful and to be the best that you can be. So if you have some of those great opportunities, please share those with us. Let me double check it.
So yes, Eric, this will be available for replay, and Jenny has a fantastic step guide. I tried to copy and paste, and the format's dreadful for those Google alerts. So we'll definitely email out the recording in addition to her step-by-step guide. But I think I saw
Well,
someone brave enough to ask a question. Derek, what you
hey, yes,
got?
ma'am. I have a question.
Yes.
Um, how can AI help? I wrote it down. How can AI help highlight transferable skills and potential on a resume when traditional works experience is limited, is lacking?
Well, a lot of different ways. So let's say, and there's a lot of different examples, but I'm just going to use one that I'm familiar with. Let's say you've been working and um, as an avionics tech in the airline industry as an A&P mechanic, and you've been fiddling with IT all of your life, and you really want to get into an IT generalist role. So using AI, going to ChatGPT and putting in the skill sets, and just saying, okay, what similarities are there between, me and avionics running the new Wi-Fi in your Boeing jets and an IT journalist? And it will bring up a lot of the tools and the skills that are required for both. And then you can kind of go through and go, oh, yeah, I do that. I have used I have used that connection, or I do know how to. So that is one way I use or have used and would suggest to use. Does that answer your question, Derek?
So Derek, I kind of put it in the chat to kind of
Yes, ma'am.
piggyback on you know, what Jenny walked through using AI and technology, that's a kind of starting point, a baseline. I think you got to do your research on the job titles you're targeting. Okay, what are those job duties? And if you've done said job duty or you have some exposure, like she said, on, novice experience with this software or beginner. That's where I think that human touch is still going to be needed to really refine it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Did I see someone raise a hand that had a question? Joshua?
Yeah, mine's more of an item I would share. I've used Claude. I don't know if anybody else has. And recently, I was doing some research on kind of what skills I might be lacking based off the position I'm looking to get into, and kind of the skills that are more aligned with that role. And it did a really good job because I loaded my resume in too, and so it pointed out the skills that I'm strong in that I already have, and then it also gave me a breakdown of like skills I should add to my skill set. And it's like, do these immediately, then do these second, then do these third, to try to align me with not just that particular role, but kind of future proofing myself as well in the industry. So obviously, AI, you have to ask the right questions to get the right answers. But if you do, it can take your current skill set, tell you what you might need to improve upon, and then kind of give you a lesson plan or direction to follow as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Joshua, for sharing. That's great. And it was called Quad, is that correct? Quad AI?
Yeah, Claude, Claude, I think. I like Claude because it's kind of like talking to a normal person rather than feeling like you're talking to a robot. They have somehow built in what I would call empathy within the AI system.
Awesome.
And it also does a great job. I sent Katie some analytic data that hopefully it presents to her. I don't know if it will, because it was a link that allowed me to share. But it did market research and produced even a bunch of visuals, different charts, graphs, resources, etc., to kind of support the information that I was asking for. So it does a pretty good job of building outside of the scope of just text.
Awesome. That is awesome. Thank you for sharing. That's absolutely very cool.
And
Um,
I
what
like using Copilot, Microsoft.com.
is that what you're using, Derek?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Awesome. What have you found the most valuable about that tool?
With that being said, you like the speaker just said, you got to be real specific when you're talking about like your jobs and the positions you want. And I've used it to put in my resume, and I've used it for like optimizing for keywords, like putting certain keywords to help it pass the ATS system. So
Awesome. Awesome. Yes, that ATS system is a great tool for recruiters to use to determine. The hard thing is to make sure that candidates also understand how to make sure that their skills and abilities are on that, because recruiters are using those tools. And for you to stand out, you need to use some of those tools that can help you stand out, and match that job description. Of course, if you don't have that experience, that's a different story. But if you do, you really want to make sure that you're customizing that resume to really match, that you're in that top 10% of the applicants that are applying. Help your recruiter see your resume first by doing that. And I think about a job search as a job in itself, that you're paying yourself forward, and you're building up, an opportunity for yourself. And is it easy? No, it's not. And none of us like to be in that spot because it's a hard spot. We're frustrated. We don't have a job. We don't have money coming in, and things are, not optimal. However, but organizing your plan and making a plan to be successful in your career search is super important, helping you find that career that is going to be, a lifelong career, hopefully for you, where you can move into a new opportunity. Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for your time today. If you like this video, please, go out to our YouTube page and like it. And if there's some other things that you'd like to see, please let us know. Our purpose is to help you. And so if you're struggling with something along the way, this is the time that you can share with us, you know, more things that you'd like to see, or more information that can help you. And how we can do that is by that communication between, our team and, our candidates that are looking. So thank you for your time today, and I will let you have your afternoon back.